You know that feeling when you're looking for one specific sock in a giant pile of laundry? Or that one book on a totally messy bookshelf? Well, how you instinctively solve that problem is, believe it or not, a huge concept in computer science. So let's dive right in.
So think about it for a second. When there's no order, no system at all, what do? What's the only strategy you have that will guarantee you find what you're looking for, assuming it's even there?
Yep, that's exactly it. You just check them one by one. You pick up the first thing, see if it's the right one, and if not, you move to the next. And you just keep doing that, in sequence, until you either find it or you've run out of things to check. This super simple process actually has a name.
So let's break this down. In the world of programming, this one-by-one method is called a sequential search. And really, it's about as straightforward as searching gets.
The official term is sequential search, though you'll also hear it called a linear search. Either way, the idea couldn't be simpler. You start at the very beginning of a list and you check every single item, one after another, in order. No skipping ahead, no shortcuts.
And that's really the beauty of it. It's so simple. You just start at the first position. You ask, is this what I'm looking for? If it is, great, you're done. If not, you just move to the next position and ask the same question all over again.
Okay, theory is one thing, but seeing this in action is where it really clicks. So let's trace the steps with a quick example. Our mission, should we choose to accept it, is to find the number 3.
All right, here's our setup. We've got a simple list of numbers, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And our target is 3. Now, the algorithm doesn't know where it is, so it has to start at the very beginning. No exceptions.
So, step 1, we look at the very first number in the first slot. It's a 5. The computer asks a simple question, is 5 the same as our target 3? Well, obviously not, so that's a no, and we move on to the next one.
Next up is the second spot. We've got the number 4. And again, same question. Is 4 equal to 3? Nope, still not it. So we just keep chugging along, one by one.
All right, third time's the charm. We get to the third element, and look at that. It's a 3. The computer asks, is 3 our target? 3? Yes, bingo! We got a match. And here's the key. The search stops right there. It's done. We don't need to look at the rest of the list.
Okay, that worked out pretty well. But what happens if the thing we're looking for isn't even in the list? What if we were searching for, I don't know, the number 9? What then?
Well, the process starts exactly the same. It would check the 5, nope, the 4, nope. It would go all the way through the entire list right to the very last number. And after checking that last one and still coming up empty, then it can finally say, hey, the number 9 just isn't here. And that's a really important point. To know something isn't there, you have to check everything.
And this brings us to a really big question. We know it's simple, which is great, but is it fast? Because when you're working with tons of data, speed is a huge deal. Let's talk about the best case. This is when you get super lucky. Imagine we were looking for the number 5 in our list. The search starts, looks at the very first spot, and boom! There it is. One check and it's done. You just can't beat that for speed. But then there's the worst case. This is what happens if the item is at the very end of the list, or like we just saw, if it's not there at all. You're forced to check every single item. So if your list has n things in it, you're doing n checks. If that's a million items, well, that's a million checks. It can get pretty slow. Now, in the real world, it's usually somewhere in between, right? You won't always be super lucky or super unlucky. On average, you're probably going to find your item about halfway through the list. So for a list of n items, you can expect to do about n divided by 2 comparisons. So what's the bottom line here? When is this actually a good idea? Well, its superpower is that it works on anything. Your data can be a total mess, completely jumbled up and unsorted, and this search will still get the job done. But the flip side is that it can be slow. Since you might have to check everything, it's probably not your best bet for searching through millions of items if you need an answer, like right now.
And this quote really just nails it. If your data has no order, you can't be clever. You have no choice but to just plow through it, one thing at a time. It's the only method that's guaranteed to work in that kind of chaos.
And that leaves us with a really interesting question to chew on. We've seen that sequential search is the perfect tool for disorganized data. But what if the data was organized? What if our list was sorted nicely from 1 to 5? Could we use that order to our advantage? Could we find a way to search that's a whole lot smarter and a whole lot faster?